In this case, we are using the eyelays to trough the tissue for an upper first molar being prepared for a crown. We had recently completed a root canal on this tooth, and it had a very large MOD amalgam with a deep margin on the mesial. After removing the alloy and decay, the margin on the mesial was within 1 millimeter of the supporting bone. I elected to perform a closed flap crown lengthening procedure, which was done very easily with a BioLase WaterLase MD hard soft tissue laser. After preparing the tooth, I was ready to take an image using a CAD/CAM camera, and I wanted to trough the tissue on the mesial, distal, and a little on the facial. Using the eyelace troughing preset and a 400 micron tip initiated, I held it parallel to the long axis of the tooth. You are just extending the tip mesially below your crown prep margin and using a brushing motion, rubbing the adjacent gum tissue. If you directed the laser tip perpendicular to the tooth, then you would be shortening the height of the tissue rather than thinning it, and in effect, you would have done a gingivectomy. Sometimes you might not need to do a bony crown lengthening, and instead would need to both thin and decrease the height of the tissue in relation to your margin. In that case, you would direct the laser energy both parallel and perpendicular to the tooth. If you have troughed the tissue well, you will see some clear separation or space between the margin of your crown prep and the adjacent gum tissue. As I am taking the image for the CAD/CAM, you can see the screen in the background showing the clearly delineated margins. This will help you achieve a beautiful fitting restoration, whether you are taking an impression or an image. Here is the crown after it has been milled and before we center the restoration in an oven. During this phase, it will achieve maximum hardness and change color to the shade you have chosen. These 3 postoperative intraoral photos show the tooth after closed flap crown lengthening, an image after the final preparation and troughing, and the final crown after cementation.